In this short video, we're going to talk about affixation. Lardiere explains that the most common morphological process for modifying a root is by adding something to it, the process of affixation. Now, affixation adds morphemes to root words to make new words, and this is called derivation. Or affixation can use morphemes to add grammatical information to root words, and this is called inflection. Most languages of the world use affixes to do one of these two things. So an affix is a grammatical morpheme, and it must, by definition, be bound to a base or to a stem. A prefix attaches to the left or front of the base, as in pre-viewed or ex-partner. A suffix attaches to the right or the end of the base, and a suffix would be ical as in nonsensical, or able as in lovable. An infix is a little bit different. An infix is an affix that's inserted inside of the root, and some languages do this. English rarely does this. I can think of examples like abso-bloody-lutely, where the word bloody is acting like an infix in the word absolutely. But this is not very common in English. It's very colloquial when it does happen. Another type of affixation which is not common in English is circumfixing. It's not really common, and it involves taking a morpheme and surrounding the root with it. Indonesian has some examples. This is from Yule 2014, the study of language. He gives this example from Indonesian, circumfixing the ending k and an around to turn something from an adjective into a noun. So you can see the example on the page. Circumfixing is different than infixing. Infixing involves splitting a root with a grammatical morpheme. Circumfixing involves splitting a grammatical morpheme with a root. And neither infixing nor circumfixing are used much in English or French. Reduplication is mentioned in your book, but again is not so relevant to English. One type of reduplication in English might be has been called Homer-Simpsonian reduplication or reduplimification. And this involves taking a syllable within a word, changing it slightly, and doubling it while changing it slightly. So education becomes edumacation. And Homer Simpson uses this to show that he's not very educated. So reduplication in English is a fairly rare thing. We do sometimes reduplicate in another way. For example, the sentence, "We went on a date, but it wasn't a date. This is a kind of reduplication. So there's a date, and there's a date, and then there's a date which is essentially a date and involves all the things that a date is. So a date and a date. We also kind of use reduplication in talking about animal sounds to some degree. A lot of onomatopoeia in many languages involve reduplication. We do say chirp chirp, tweet tweet, bow wow, that kind of thing. And there you see some kind of reduplication happening. Now, ablaut is different than an infix. It involves changing vowels within the root. It doesn't involve inserting a grammatical marker, but taking some of the vowels and changing them, resulting in a change of meaning. Irregular past tense verbs in English are a result of ablaut. Fall and fell, sit and sat. Many irregular plurals in English, mouse and mice, man and men. Again, this is the process of ablaut. Suppletion is completely substituting one root for the other. And again, it's not super common in English, but some of the most common words in English demonstrate suppletion. Is and was, good, better, and best, bad and worse. What is the difference between pretty, prettier, and prettiest versus good, better, and best? Pretty, prettier, and prettiest is made through adding affixes, where good, better, and best is made through suppletion.